Hello and welcome to After Hours, brought to you by the Emory Hotel, the home of horology in London.
A place where we truly celebrate the art of time well spent. Joining me is none other than the brilliant author, historian and journalist, Nick Fowles. Together we'll be sharing the heady cocktail of all the things we love most about the watch world. Tune in as we unveil the rock stars of haute horology, one-of-a-kind watch designs, an exclusive window into the world of watchmaking. Hello and welcome to After Hours, here at the Emory.
The home of haute horology.
The home. I'm George Bamford.
I'm Nick Fowles. And here we have Laurent Feniou, the king of Cartier in London.
Hello, George. Nice
Good
to see you.
Very good to see you.
So nice of you to make it in.
Nice to see you.
Great to see you.
I love that you get a hug. That's even better.
Well, we've only known for about 27 years now.
I know.
And this man had the very tough job of taking over from Arnaud Bombardier, who, as we know, is one of the great heroes of the luxury goods industry.
Yes.
And he's done it brilliantly.
Thank you.
So there we are. I think we've finished the...
There we go. That's a wrap.
And what's the big thing at the moment? What about the V&A? Tell me.
No, yeah, thank you. And first of all, very, very happy to be here and delighted to be at the Emory in this incredible cigar room, which is a great, great success in London.
It's a sampling room is the technical term. Sampling room.
Sampling room. Amazing. No, and as you said, this is really, really topical right now because we have the V&A exhibition, the Cartier exhibition at the V&A. The last one in the UK was in '97, so it's a chance of a lifetime.
It is remarkable. Viewers, you ought to go and see it. You know, it is absolutely brilliant. It's dazzling, and it's quite breathtaking, really, isn't it? What do you? I mean, you were working for Rothschild, weren't you?
Yeah. So before to join Cartier, nearly 13 years ago, I was an investment banker for a long time. And
but why did you leave a highly salaried job like that to come and do this?
Passion about watches, passion about jewels, and literally on the V&A point. When I joined, I really wanted to try to make something of this magnitude in London, and it took the whole team, not just me, but the whole team in Paris, in London, 10 years to make it at the V&A. And it's a great, great, great result. And we started in April. It's on till November, and it's sold out up until I think August. So
well, by the time this goes out, it'll be sold up till Christmas probably. But
can I ask you about this exhibition? What is your watch or piece of Cartier that you've seen there that you've gone, I've never seen that before? Because there is some pieces there that when you walk around you go, oh my God, that is there. Or
super hard to tell because it's 350 creations. Yes. And what is amazing is it's a mix between the Cartier collection, so the one that we have seen but not necessarily often, and we're always like incredibly surprised to see them, and loans from certain of our clients. And there I would say for me what is the most touching is the loans from His Majesty the King. So you have a full cabinet coming from the Royal Collection, and this is really, really moving to have this in the UK at the V&A.
It's fantastic. Tell us what's in the Royal Collection box.
Yeah, so in the Royal Collection box, you will have very, very interesting creations. You have penguins, you have a boat, you have a clock, you have a Buddha, so you have a really eclectic...
Is it a penguin in hardstone?
No, it's I think it's in marble, but it's a very, very interesting collection, and we're very, very thankful, of course. But at the same time, you will have the Williamson brooch, which is to belong to the Queen. So
tell us about the Williamson brooch a bit, because that's a very important thing.
Yeah, it's an important part of the collection, and what is new for the lovers at the V&A is the fact that you have for the first time the brooch and the design. And what is great is you have the drawings from
the original drawings.
The original drawings, and what is very, very interesting is the fact that you have the evolution of the drawings up until the design, which is approved by Her Majesty the Queen. So that's really, really strong. And everyone at Cartier is very, very emotionally attached to it because it's the first time we see it combine the brooch and the drawings.
And the Williamson angle? What's the Williamson? Why Williamson?
And also the angle is just the owner. He was the owner of a big mining empire, and he gave the stone to the Queen, which is also very, very emotional in that respect. And that created the brooch as a creation by Cartier.
So the new exhibition in Sweden that is...
It's not an exhibition, is it? Is it an exhibition? Or
No,
is it
so we're presenting our new collection, the
new
Hydri collection, in a few days in Stockholm.
Perfect.
This is called En Équilibre, this is the name of the collection, and this is amazing.
You're going to have to explain that to us people, us Anglo-Saxons who can't speak our own language, let alone yours.
En Équilibre means equilibrium, basically, to cut it short. And we present a new collection to our VIP clients from all around the world, and they always extremely excited about discovering and buying it. And to make a link with the V&A, we have the chance to have in loans creations from last year. So as an example, you all know the Tutti Frutti collection, and we have a Tutti Frutti collection from the origin up until last year, where one of our clients was generous enough to loan the necklace they just bought in the last collection, and it's now on display at the V&A, which is amazing.
That's a really nice connection, and saying that the people that are buying it are still kind of coming back in. I bet they'll be at the new showing.
Yes, we hope so, and some are happy to be named, others want to stay as private collections. So at the V&A you will see quite a lot of loans from our clients coming from different backgrounds. It could be watches, it could be jewelry, so that's a very wide and diverse loans from our top clients.
So talking about the V&A collection, you and I were talking about the Pebble watch, and some of the other, what would I say, asymmetric cases, and some of the unusual cases that Cartier is known for. But like Nick and I have a bit of a love affair with the Pebble, and then Nick is wearing a very unusual watch today. That,
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It's such a wonderful example of Cartier's other styles. But when you're walking around there is things like the Crash as well.
Yes, the original Crash on display. It's a very, very special room, and very special and topical for today. And we are very proud in the UK in particular, because many of the shapes were invented in the UK in the 50s and the 60s. So we speak about the swinging 60s with obviously the Crash, the Pebble, the Maxi Oval.
I can't think of a weirdly shaped Cartier that was actually invented outside. I mean, maybe the Benoit was in Paris, but not the Maxi Oval.
Yeah, not the Maxi Oval. I think the master shape, the Tonk, the Benoit,
but that's what's interesting
Santos,
for me.
Comes from the Paris DNA. And what is very interesting is the alteration, the originality, the craziness of some of the designs. And I think we were discussing, you both have been instrumental in many ways in making them known to the general public. And now a great group of followers. We do an event at the V&A later today with incredible collections from all around the world.
I'm going to reverse a little bit on this, because some of our viewers may not know the difference between New York, Paris, and London. And I'm kind of wondering if the two of you may be able to explain a little bit of why there was the split, what was the split, why was London the best? Well, look, we all believe that London is the best because we're here at the Emory.
But London is the best. I mean, for me, it's the most inventive. It's a period that I like, and I mean, Cartier had been in England since, what, 1902 or something? Or
yeah, and even before, but the official date is 1902, but we were basically asked to come to the UK by the royal family and all of the aristocracy, because for them it was a long trip to go to Paris to buy jewels, tiaras, and so forth. And that was the reason why Cartier came. Interestingly, and you will see it at the V&A, the first settlement in the UK was on Burlington Street, and we were following Worth. Worth of London, which was a beautiful fashion designer, and that was the entry point of Cartier there. And after, of course, we moved to Bond Street, to our temple, and we're here ever since. So it's a great story. It's a great story of when you mention Paris, London, New York. This is still very much in the ethos and the DNA of Cartier, and I would say up to these days, because we still have the workshop, we still have the archives. We are very, very humbled and privileged to have had the royal warrants from the early days. Queen Alexandra was the first one to award the warrant, and now we're extremely happy that King Charles gave us 2 warrants for the Prince of Wales, and now the right warrant from the King. Yes. We are extremely pleased. And
but Paris was the mothership, and this is from the 1840s, isn't it?
Yeah, 1847.
1847. Yep. So you're coming up for your 180th, and it's. I mean, for me, Cartier is fascinating because there's something happening in every decade. I mean, there's a sort of element of Fabergé about it. Then you have the Art Deco period, and then you go. I mean, there's something happening, and then you have swinging London, and New York is interesting for me as well because they bought in a lot of goods and just signed them Cartier, but they did it with. I mean, they're not the best quality ones, I don't think, but they are again very indicative of Cartier and vital to the history. But tell us about the Cartier Paris a bit.
No, Cartier Paris is obviously the essence and the origin of Cartier, and still obviously as you said, the home, the home of Cartier. I would say now on the jewelry collections, the design, the manufacture, you will have watches made in Switzerland and jewelry made in Paris. So this is really the essence and the core of Cartier. But of course, we are biased in the UK because we really are very proud of our origins and our history, and again, the Vianney is a great expression of this for the time we have spent here.
I mean, it'll be 125 years of Cartier London soon, won't it?
No, we had just making a side reference, but we were very happy in 2021 during the COVID period to have the presence of the King and the Queen at our workshop to celebrate the 100 years of our workshop, 1921-2021.
Wow,
which was amazing.
I mean, the workshops are fantastic. It's so good that on Bond Street, you have some of the most valuable real estate in the world from a retail point of view. You've got these very talented craftsmen, English Artworks, upstairs, and it's a joy to see. If you get the chance, do ask him for a visit.
It's difficult to visit, but no, it's unique, and it's a combination of a workshop, but also archives. We have an incredible archivist, Jenny, in the building, and this is really something special, which makes Cartier very unique in the UK, but probably worldwide, in having these 3 centers, Paris, London, New York, where you have archives, craftsmanship, tradition, and styles.
There was no, I mean, there was going to be, obviously in the late 60s and 70s, it was all tailing off a bit, but it was rescued, I think, really, we can say by Richemont, Vendôme as it was then. And that's the beauty of it. They've been in the one place for so long that you haven't thrown the archives away. And now these archives are super valuable. But also another thing that I think is very interesting is that Alain-Dominique Perrin started buying old Cartier in the 80s, didn't he?
Yes, and I know you're one of the best connoisseurs of the Cartier history around the world, and one of the best advocates. But this is really an interesting story because, as you know, you have ups and downs, and every brand will have a lot of changes in their history. But I think the Richemont Group has been instrumental up to this day. So we are, very proud, and Cartier London has a special place in the organization.
Yes.
Can I just, why did it accelerate here in London and New York? Was there a reason behind, because you say about the mothership, but quite a lot of brands at those times didn't really jump across the pond in the right way. They didn't do certain things. Why was it? Was there a history of why was London?
I think you're being a bit harsh there, George. I mean, I think that Van Cleef came over before the war, I think, wasn't it? The Wertheimers obviously went there were there before the war. So I think there's a history of people going to America. I mean, Patek Philippe. When Antoine Norbert de Patek went to America in the middle of the 19th century, so there's a history of Europeans going there and setting things up, I think. But what? Yeah, I mean.
No. For me, what is unique is probably the family angle.
So there was a family member that went to London, and a family member.
That's a thing, and it's pretty unique, and probably that made the strength of it. So you basically have 3 brothers going with the direction of their father to New York, London, Paris, and it stayed like very strong, obviously, between them. And if you think about World War I, World War II. This is a very difficult time to establish and to keep on going on the business. And it makes me think again on the V&A, because the introductory kind of room is a letter which is basically on communication between the brothers on together we're stronger, we're gonna make an amazing international company. And they were very, very clever in a way, because choosing London and New York were choosing not only the aristocracy, but also the industrialists of the time, the Rockefeller, the et cetera, et cetera. So it was the right place. And after from there, it expanded globally. But still there is this anchor in these three countries.
It was the three family members that literally accelerated
Built,
and did their own thing.
They did their own thing,
Yes.
but also it's a curious relationship, isn't it? Because they did their own thing, but they also had stuff from Paris as well, didn't they?
Yeah, so Paris is always like in a way, the matrix and in terms of the inspiration, the design, and so on and so forth. But after, there was a lot of freedom taking place. And what is great also is, I was mentioning the World War I, World War II. There was a lot of activity at that time in the different countries. And the workshop, I'm very proud, because it's the London one has never closed.
Wow.
From 1921, it never closed. It was always active, even during the Second World War.
And I mean, didn't de Gaulle broadcast to the French from Cartier's office in London?
Yeah, I think this is a
nice
story. I don't know exactly if it's true, but what is true is Charles de Gaulle came to London, and before to be hosted by Winston Churchill at Carlton Gardens, he had a good friend with the Cartier family, and they basically hosted him not only in the boutique in Bond Street, but also in Putney. The general manager at the time, Serge Bélanger, gave him his house to basically have a home in the UK before to be officially with the UK government. So it's a nice story. It's a strong story in the heart of Cartier.
And also, can you tell me about New York? Is it true that they swapped the house that they occupy for a string of pearls?
Yeah, so this is really the one of the best stories we have within Cartier. One of our clients basically wanted an incredible pearl necklace,
And that was when pearls were. I mean, that was a time when pearls were more priced than diamonds, weren't they? I mean,
and this necklace, now it sounds very, very strange, because this is a mansion on Fifth Avenue. So when you look at it, you say, "Oh, wow, that was probably a good deal at the time," but it was a fair deal. This pearl necklace had the value of the mansion in New York.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting that before there's a medieval poem called "The Pearl." Actually, I mean, pearls have been something we forget, because of the cultured pearl industry came along and sort of wiped out that kind of thing, didn't it? What have you got on your wrist, first of all? Because
So
I think
today is also about watches, of course.
Sorry, we should be talking. But it was a history. I agree. I'm jealous of this as well. Or envious. I look at it and it keeps on dazzling. Tell us a little bit.
So this watch will stay on my wrist only for a few minutes. This is the new Tanka Guichet. So it was introduced at Watches and Wonders a few weeks ago, and we're extremely proud, because this is the limited edition. This is the Tanka Guichet Platinum, and we have a design which is obviously very loyal to the origin Tanka Guichet from 1928. Except it's different. And there is a twist, which is a beautiful twist. And on top of it, we have a line of Tanka Guichet in yellow, white, and yellow, pink, and white gold that will be available both in September.
But we've also got here, what have we got here? Now, this is interesting. This is a driver's watch from 1997, isn't it?
Yeah, Incurvé one.
Now, this is a quartz, isn't it? Or is it back wound? No, it's quartz, I think.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
And I will put this one like this. You can have a look at it. And
yeah, there we go.
Brilliant. I mean, that would be worn like that. So that when you were at the steering wheel of your Bugatti, and you didn't need to, you just glanced that way. You didn't even have to sort of turn the wrist, so you could keep your mind on the road. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're obviously extremely limited edition, but they are beautiful shapes with a twist, and this is part of the patrimony and the heritage of Cartier. So we're very, very proud of these watches.
But also how the deployment is and how it's integrated into the case.
It's just very difficult for me to operate. That's all.
No, it's. Can I nick it off your
Yes,
list?
you can. You can.
I
better not be buying one of those. I think I can't even put it on.
No, but I love how it is, and you know how it is on both sides. You know, there is a balance on the case side.
It's very tidy, isn't it?
It really is. It's pleasing on how it fits on your wrist and how I saw it on your wrist. And the elegance of the size as well.
Well, size is a big
Thank
thing
you.
because
Thank
I think
you.
also what has been interesting is that fashion has now favoured smaller
Put that
watches,
back
and Cartier it went through a very dubious period in my view when it was doing sort of tourbillon, jour et nuit, mystérieux, Conti and perpetuel things, and it did a diving watch, and it did all sorts of things that in my opinion it shouldn't have been doing, and that was in the era of these big watches. And I think Cartier almost lost its way a bit. And then, you came back with watches that were, I mean, as you know, I was telling every CEO that they should bring back the old watches. But I mean, that's me because I like old watches. But actually it seems that everybody seems to like old watches because in the last 5 years, Cartier has sort of exploded really with watches, hasn't it?
No, and I think probably one of the starting points was the relaunching of the Panthère watch, followed by Santos, which was absolutely amazing, and really reinventing the Tank on regular basis. And I think this is really going back to the core, going back to the essence of a design of shapes. And I'm glad that you've been supporting it for a long time. And now this is obviously great.
Well, it's like a broken clock. I'm right at least twice a day. Is this a man's size watch from the? This is quite an old one, isn't it? What's this one here? Yeah. So this is a man's watch, right, Laurent?
Definitely the beautiful Tank Normal.
So I mean, what's interesting is that how watches have shrunk. I mean, you remember? I mean, have you tried a Panerai lately?
It's a good one.
No, I mean, but this is minute. I mean, this would have been regarded as not beyond effeminate on the male wrist, and now it's the size of a postage stamp, if you can remember what they are, and you can still tell the time perfectly easily.
Yeah, and we have recently launched the Tank Mini, which is both for men and women, which is a great success. Very elegant, very distinctive, and in line with the origin of the Tank Normal.
So what we heard was 1971 was this came out. You know, as a man's watch, I could imagine it as a dress watch, as an evening
But
dress
I mean,
watch.
it's got 30s elegance written all over it for me. I can just see that on somebody in a dinner jacket with a wing collar and a sort of
Evening and
Yes,
going out
yes,
for a
yes,
cocktail or something.
almost down to the white silk scarf.
I now you've put me in that world. Honestly, this watch is absolutely amazing. But now you're right about sizing coming back down. But I would see this as more of a ladies' watch.
Yeah, I would too. But I would wear it to épater les bourgeois, or whatever the expression is. Is that the right expression?
You speak French better than I do.
No. But it is. I mean, once again, it's hard to operate for aged people like me. But it is a beauty. So tell me the difference between the Tank Normal and the Tank LC, Louis Cartier.
Also, you got the Tank Louis Cartier, which is really the classic Tank that went obviously over the decades, which is a little bit elongated and more with the rectangular kind of shape. But it's our timeless.
So
classic,
you've got the prominent brancards here, haven't you? And you've got a slightly more. It's a more oblong than square.
A little bit more refined, or it seems a bit more refined.
In a way, it's hard to take an aesthetic position on Tank Normal versus Tank Louis Cartier. We're more used to the Tank Louis Cartier because this is the one that we see everywhere. And at a personal level, I know my heart is in between the two.
Yeah. As it should be.
But there is something when you see them side by side, you know, because for most viewers or most people that don't really totally understand, they just think it's a tank, and you know they're like, well, what's the difference between this and this and this?
Well, how many tanks were there? There's a Tank Aguichet, Tank Normal, Tank Louis Cartier, Tank Cintré, Tank Asymmetrique, Tank Chinoise.
Yeah, you have Tank Américain, Tank Français, Tank
Anglais,
Tank Chinoise. We have a long series, and this is also the beauty of a beautiful idea that started before the First World War and having it along the way.
I mean, for me, it's what defines a great design is how elastic it can be without making crap. And I mean, there's not been a bad tank really. Maybe the Tank Anglaise wasn't quite so good.
Tank was maybe a little bit less commercially successful, but at the same time, it's part of the
It's part of the history. Yeah.
And,
I mean, I think it's a question of which one you prefer over the other, and it's a matter of personal taste.
that's the thing.
But I mean, there's not a bad tank, which is quite an achievement in 180. Well, not 180 years. 100. Let's say 110 or 20 years. It is a great thing. So, what else have we got in here?
We have this very interesting asymmetric. So you were speaking about very original shapes, and this one combines the asymmetric with the skeleton. And George, we discussed about the skeleton element, which I think now became really, really entrenched in the Cartier design. And this combination.
It feels modern in a classic design.
This is what I mean, and I wouldn't have thought of this, but this is brilliant because you've got the sense of it being contemporary, but you're not slavishly following fashion as you were in 10, 15 years ago about doing these complications. It's a really, really clever thing.
Mm-hmm. It's also, when you talk about tanks, this is my favourite one. Because I love that it is a little bit unusual. It has, but seeing the skeletonization and seeing it in the flesh.
I mean, that's the Cartier for you.
It
really
is, and I love this design because it's something that's a little bit unusual. It's a bit more. You wouldn't see it on everyone's wrist, but when you look at it, you think, God, it feels, as you've just said, it feels modern. It feels contemporary, but it really is still, it's a tank. It's something that you just look at.
When was the asymmetric introduced? Early 30s?
Yeah, early 30s. And this one is very recent. And to make a link with what we discussed about the history of Cartier, this is a watch which is exclusive to Paris, London, and New York. So this is also a very, very interesting kind of link to our 3 locations in Rue de la Paix, in Bond Street, and in Fifth Avenue.
I really like the fact that you have to make a bit of an effort to go and get these things, rather than them being available in every
airport.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, but this would you wouldn't see it in an airport. I also love this claret with, the finishing, and even how it's just hinting over to the 12, and the 12's gone darker. There's something really elegant about the design of this that's, it delights. It's a delight for the eye, and if someone's looking down at it on their wrist,
it's something that gives you.
It's going to give you pleasure.
I mean, the point of a nice watch is to take a quotidian act of telling the time and make it into a little special event, and
I mean,
that does
it's
it.
exciting for me.
It is great,
and
isn't
I think the way you dress today, it's
perfect.
Oh, it really is. It's one of those. It really is.
You should definitely try on the.
Yeah, you should try on that. That's fantastic. That's more me.
Oh.
But Laurent, tell me, you've reintroduced a watch that I was hoping would be introduced, the automatic tank.
Yeah, the one you have in your hands right now.
There used to be, I mean, there was never an automatic till the 70s, wasn't there, when they did 77, 78?
Yeah, you're probably right on the date. I think this is the novelty of the Watches and Wonders of this year, and we're very, very proud because this is now the classic Tank Cartier, but automatic with a case which is of limited.
Because what used to be the tank, and then you'd have this sort of little contusion on the back.
Bump.
It was like somebody had taken the back and smashed a euro, a pound coin into it. Do you know what I mean? It was quite deep, and I unfortunately, when I was in a position to buy Cartier, I used to look down my nose a bit at that kind of thing as being too recent, which is rather foolish of me. I only wanted old things, but I have to say this is a real improvement on that.
No, thank you, because it's also a great improvement and a lot of work from the team, of course, and we believe this is a great new creation.